Hello, and welcome to this year-end episode of the Takarazuka Fan Podcast, the podcast where we bring our excitement about the Japanese Takarazuka theater straight to your ears. With me today are...
Jen in New York.
Kate in Durham.
And my name is Kitty Chan, and I will be hosting today's episode.
Woohoo!
So it's been a while since I've been on an episode, since I have had a lot going on lately. I now actually am in Japan, but enough about me. On today's episode, first, we're going to discuss some of the ways that Takarazuka has brightened our lives during this year. Would anyone like to start?
I'll go. Mine is a shorter story.
Okay.
All right, so... some of you know I've been a fan for a while, and because this fandom is amazing, I've met a lot of really cool people, especially when I was in Japan, because fans from all over the world would come to Japan, so we all would meet up. And I made a good friend from Belgium back then, and recently she moved to America to work, and I invited her up to spend American Thanksgiving with my family and I, and it was really fun. I hadn't seen her in like 10 years, and she was a Sumire fan, and I was a Masaki fan, so yeah, it was really fun. And the last time we'd seen each other was when Scarlet Pimpernel was playing in Tokyo, so we watched a little bit of Scarlet Pimpernel together, and it was very nostalgic, natsukashi, so we had a lot of fun. Yeah, so that was kind of like the beautiful end to a really crazy year, and just... it's kind of cool how Takarazuka, even though she and I are not as huge fans as we used to be because our girls have retired, but it was still cool that we're still in touch. Like, you make friends that you never lose touch of in this fandom, which is really, really cool. So
yeah, it's always wonderful how Takarazuka creates such deep bonds between the people watching as well as performing.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Kate, would you like to go next?
Yeah, this year hasn't been the best. Well, in general for everyone, but also because my favorite combi, Nozomi Futa and Maya Kiho, left Takarazuka. But I'm like really happy that they made it, and because it's been delayed like so many times, I'm really happy that they managed to, do Fortissimo, do Silk Road, have their Taidan, even in a slightly wonky way. And I was so ready to just not see them for a while, but then they immediately started like lining up all sorts of concerts, dinner shows, and then Daimon got like 2 really good. I just remembered deep down in my memory that I locked away the announcement that she was gonna play Adelaide in Guys and Dolls.
Oh, right.
Amazing.
Oh my god. So she got Into the Woods, and then she got Guys and Dolls, and she got a few concerts, and then Kiho got quite a few like jazz shows, and she did Don Juan, and she is now doing what's the one she's doing right now? Can't remember. Anyway, they've both got really good lineups, and I'm really excited.
Yeah. So I know Maya is about to do Leonkeri, Warao Otoko.
Yes, that one.
Yeah. Is that the one you're thinking of?
No, there's an even more recent one that I can't remember. But yes,
is it the Studio Ghibli one?
Oh!
Or is that one Miyu?
Oh yeah, that's a no, yeah, sorry, that's Miyu and Miyu and Fujian. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, sorry, this is actually a really good year for retired Thomas fans.
Oh yeah, no, it is. It really is. But yeah, no, I'm just theaters still not back to normal. Nothing's back to normal yet, and I can't go see them. But I'm happy that they're moving on and doing stuff.
Yeah. How about you, Kitty? What's your big thing for this year?
So my Takarazuka has brightened my year as well. So I've been since I was accepted to a program in Japan, I've been trying to get here.
Yes, oh my gosh.
And it's been postponed and postponed. Like, I assumed I was not gonna see Japan until like 2023.
Ooh.
So then I was like very suddenly got the announcement that I was gonna be leaving for Japan in August. Because like they had told us you'll get at least 2 months warning, and they like on the dot. So I was like frantically running around. So it was really nice to have the Takarazuka live streams, just to give a little bit of relaxation and talking to other fans amidst all of that wild stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and then like I got to Japan in the middle of City Hunter.
Nice.
So I wasn't able to see it live, but I caught the one of the Senshuraku theater live screenings
in the movie theaters. Yeah,
like genuinely. That
how was that?
It's incredible. It is a show. Like, plot wise, it has a plot. Character wise, it's so fun to watch. Like, the whole troupe is clearly having a blast. Also, Fire Fever is insanely good.
Is it? I'm so glad.
Yeah, so it genuinely, like, it really just cheered me up a lot to watch. And then, slight side note, I also am in the same situation with my girl, who I was supporting retiring earlier this year with Nozomi Futo. So Ayanagi Sho has now retired, but like, I was afraid she was gonna go like full like Mitsuru or something and never be seen again.
No, but then she had that amazing.
But she's like everywhere. I was like,
I know, right?
I'm like, what is happening? Okay.
That poster with her and Kai.
She's gotten herself pulled into the Nanami Hiroki stage universe, which I will never complain about. I am just sitting here like, please get a dog though, because I want to see a dog on Instagram, please. But you know, there is time. Yeah, I don't know. I need to get back in her fan club because I let it lapse because I was assuming she wasn't going to be doing all that much. And now I'm like, oh no.
I feel like some of the best shows I saw when I was living in Japan were like the small theater shows with OGs in them. It's so much fun. Yeah, that's awesome. That's so awesome for you.
I haven't had a chance to see Applause yet, but it did run on Sky Stage recently, so I'm very excited.
Yeah. How cool.
Yeah. Okay, so now that we've talked about our personal favorite ways that Takarazuka has affected our lives this year, I was thinking we could just talk about what we think are some of the most significant like news events in Takarazuka for the year. And hopefully we can remember what happened in 2021 as opposed to 2020.
Right.
Yeah.
Basically, it's all just been a very long 2020. So if we forget what year something happened in, please be understanding.
Because we will.
Yeah.
Who wants to start?
Yeah, I think we can just whoever thinks of something.
I can think of one.
Okay.
Yeah, if you have something.
Freaking Takarazuka on the Tokyo Olympics.
Oh yeah.
That was a thing.
That's right. Yeah. That was so cool. Both opening and closing ceremony. Like we had
because Maya Miki didn't she?
Yeah. Maya Miki was amazing. I was like, boom, boom, boom. Yay, Maya Miki. She's such a legend.
She is. And like there were rumors, and I was like, no, that is impossible. Like this is just fans, having a bit of a laugh, and there's no way that they'll get Takarazuka to sing the national anthem at the closing ceremony. And then the lights dimmed, and then I was watching this kind of like on live stream with my mom, and she was like, "Oh, aren't these?" I was like, "They are. They are."
Yeah. Yeah. But honestly, it's like, I have some reservations about how things were handled behind the scenes because of COVID and everything, obviously, but it is really nice to see them there because Takarazuka and other female female theater companies are kind of treated as kind of a lesser cultural art in Japan, it sometimes feels like.
Right.
Like as compared to the male dynastic theaters like No and Kabuki.
Yeah.
Right. Which is ironic considering they started out, well, Kabuki at least was all female when it started.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like being more exclusive does not actually make you better. Yeah, but it is really nice to see them get treated as something so culturally relevant.
Yeah, it is. And I do feel like Takarazuka is just getting more and more culturally or like pop culturally relevant. Especially since we got the anime this year as well.
Yeah.
And just more people start knowing about it, and I've been seeing more and more anime like tiny references and nods to Takarazuka like everywhere. It's pretty good.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm kind of waiting for Tasso. Somebody help me with her stage name. Tasso's all boys theater manga to get an adaptation somewhere.
Yes.
I think it's probably more likely to get a stage adaptation than an anime, but I feel like it's probably going to get something eventually.
Yes, please. Wait, is that a light novel or manga? It's a manga, right?
It is a manga. Okay.
I have yet to read it.
So she came out with a autobiographical essay book, and she's collaborating on this manga.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Takarazuka in popular media more. Go.
So, Kitty, since you're there, I feel like I have not been getting the news. Is Irimachi and Demachi, they're still canceled?
Yes. I think they'll only, as far as I know, because I'm not in any clubs right now, but I know people in clubs, the main things are the ticket handovers.
Right.
And there, as far as I know, there's no full Irimachi happening, but I am not certain.
I feel so much for the young actresses, because, like,
Ochakai
and Irimachi and Demachi is how they, like, build their fan base. That's so sad.
Yeah.
But I was just kind of looking through the news for the year, and it's like, oh yeah, the theater, they were still kind of playing around with whether they were going to have the theaters open or closed this year. But they've been open pretty solidly since, like, February, right? I don't think.
Yeah, I don't believe that once they opened again, I don't believe they have had any closures.
Which is nice.
They had, I think, some slight disruption of, Tom's dinner show. Yeah. Which, speaking of that...
Yeah, I was about to say,
speaking of events that will affect the entire Takarazuka company.
Oh, no!
Yeah, Tom retired.
What the heck? Was like a very big shock to everybody.
Yeah,
and then immediately people start. I can't believe this just like happened and people accepted it, and now we're kind of already in the like post accepting this stage. How?
Yeah,
how this was going to be such a big deal?
Yeah, it's like. Very, very interesting. How it's gonna pan out. I think, honestly, I kind of doubt there's gonna be another like titled Senka top star for a long time.
Yeah,
it doesn't make sense right now for anyone to.
It was 20 years since the last one, really, because it was probably
because like Kasugano had kind of stopped performing in the Grand Theater by the late 80s, maybe? Or early 90s?
She was still performing, because I saw her live in 2000 something, I feel like. Yeah.
But yeah, she had kind of like really, really dropped off her activities,
Right.
though.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like, if rumors are to be believed, Hankyu had been shopping around the someone to come after Kasugano Yachio position for several years pre Tom's Senka transfer.
Right.
But I kind of feel like the way the company is now, because at the time Kasugano Yachio was starting to perform less and they were looking for someone else, we still didn't have Cosmos Troop. So things are, and right now we also have Takarasuka Live next. So I suspect that probably they're not going to try and have another like that high of star level Senka person.
Yeah, well,
just
because
logistically,
you know who else retired this year was Matsumoto Yuri, who was kind of the other.
Yeah, honestly,
long-term,
I think she is kind of almost even going to be a bigger impact than Tom leaving,
right?
Because she is the last person in the company to have entered under the Japanese dance exam.
Right, right.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I hope they both have a very nice time. Both of them seem to have just gone, retired. Although with Tom, it has still only been a couple months. So,
yeah. But we gotta remember, they're older too. So a lot of the regular Takarazuka top stars, when they retire, they're still in their 30s. So they've still got a long career ahead of them.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see Tom doing some like local events for Kumamoto, because she seems to be very into that and has done it in the past. But yeah, as for like, a normal OG career, I don't think we're going to be seeing that. Yeah.
Oh, it's going to be so
weird. It is very interesting, because they seem to be how to put this, seem to be making an effort a bit more on the Senka promotions lately.
What do you mean?
That cycles through. Like every 20 years.
Some younger performers in Senka who are actually doing things.
Oh. Yeah.
Like Koma did do things, and she got the 2 dinner shows, but she did feel like a little bit neglected at times, and Mitsuru kind of also felt like they could have been. Mitsuru especially got a lot of, and Mitsuru is also their roles.
Yeah.
Although some of that is because she got stuck being in Nemo, which is and X was also there for like 90% of the cast. But yeah, because I find Senka fascinating, but Hankyu also, like, Hankyu has never known what they're doing in Senka. like
sometimes they're just like a fridge, like a storage box to put like people they don't know.
Yeah.
It's like, there you go. We'll put you there until we figure out what to do with you.
See, I feel like in the 90s and the knots, they used Senka a lot for like the uncle and aunt roles and like they were still kind of using them as they had used them earlier, as like, this is where we're gonna put the dancers, and then they would pull the dancers out, or this is where we're gonna put the esteemed older actresses, and then they would pull them out when they needed them. But you don't see them doing that quite as much anymore.
Yeah, Senka has gotten like a lot smaller. It's sort of surprising, which I'm interested to see what will happen. His now Takasho Mizuki is in Senka. And she's like a really, really versatile performer, so I'm happy to maybe she'll get to do some kind of interesting stuff.
Yeah.
Although, like, I do suspect we're about to see so much Rosa Versailles, so like, sorry, at every otokoyaku in Senka, you're about to just
Oh.
We've got a lot of generals coming up. Yep. So
somebody has to take over Dadges. I think Natoride is the designated Oscar dad right now, but clearly if we need more than one of them at once, they'll have to figure something out.
Yes.
Yes.
So should we talk about some of the other top star Nibante retirements? Because we had a couple Nibante retirements this year, which is unusual.
Oh, yeah, it is unusual. We have like a really weird string of older Nibante, which like couple years back, like Mia Rurika was kind of the first one there, but then it ended up being like 7 people now, so it's like a very unusual rate of Nibante retirements.
Yeah,
that's very sad.
Yeah, no, like I was so looking forward to Sho being Saki's Nibante.
Yeah, like I was thinking
they were the original Yukigumi twins.
Yeah, I was hoping maybe she would stay for one split into Saki's run so she could get like a bow haul or something.
Yeah,
but I feel like maybe with the closures she kind of had enough.
Nah, that's fair.
And she also was getting really close with Daimon.
Aww.
So it's off to like a solidarity thing.
Aww.
And yeah. And she is doing so much so quickly that I wonder if she had started moving in that direction even before she retired.
That's true.
True. But yeah, so
who
the
Nibante we've had Aizuki
retired this year. So we have Aizuki Hikaru.
That's a big one. That was a weird one.
I think that wasn't a huge surprise ever since she got moved to Senka.
They were clearly struggling to figure out what they were doing.
Yeah, but it was a bit weird for them to move
6 years. But because she was clearly like, you know, sticking it out really hard and very much in it. You know, some people seem a little less invested, but she seemed so dedicated that it's just really sad.
Yeah.
But like also clearly Rei Makoto is not going anywhere for quite a while.
Yeah, no, true.
So after a certain point you do just have to do the math.
Yeah.
And especially since we have Seo and like Hoshigumi right now is so crowded.
Yeah, Hoshigumi's track is like really weird right now.
I've been really
and they're doing their usual like their cycle of panic promotions where they'll give someone 3 splits in a row because they realize they're going to default to Nibante and they have to have a resume and then not promote anyone under them until the next time this happens.
Oof.
Kitty, did you see Aizuki Hikaru's last show? Did you see Yagyu?
I did see Yagyu live. Yes.
Did she get a good final role, or was it?
Yagyu.
That's
or
not
at least
good.
in the review. At least in the review.
Dandyism slaps. Dandyism is like one of the best reviews I've seen in my life.
Really?
Yeah.
But
oh wow.
I think my fate is every time I return to Japan, I see a Japanese setting play of very high concept and execution that does not exactly live up to it, and then a really good Okada Keiji review. Yagyu,
it seems wacky.
Yagyu, on paper, the reasoning for why Yagyu happened makes sense, because Atarui was incredibly successful, and it was Rei Makoto in a high budget book adaptation where she is a hero fighting boy in a book that was published intended for a male audience. Thus, on paper, it makes sense. On stage, it does not make sense.
Oof.
So they didn't give Ai-chan a very good final role then. That's too bad.
Ai-chan, like, she looks amazing. If the show was better, it would be stellar.
Aww.
But, yeah, the script, nobody really quite does much despite a whole lot of things happening.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like, have you seen Pierre the Mercenary?
No.
A long time ago, yeah.
Yeah, so Pierre the Mercenary is another show based on an extremely violent, both gory and violence towards women novel series aimed at men adaptation for Takarazuka.
Oof.
And Pierre works somehow, kind of. Yagyu does not. I think because Yagyu, the plot, by virtue of what they're adapting, it was like 40% exposition, which is why Tenju Mitsuki has like the most dialogue in the whole show.
Oof.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I just dumped on Yagyu for like 10 minutes. But yeah,
okay.
Yagyu is not good. More Dandyism is incredibly good though.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
And
how
yeah,
about...
and I've heard her final dinner show was also really, really good.
Oh, good.
Yeah, apparently she did a whole section of songs from Hana no Narihira, which is one of her favorite shows. Yeah, I'm like so sad now because it's one of my favorite shows also, and I was like dying for her and Kocho to do it.
I'm surprised they haven't brought that show back.
I suspect I wouldn't be surprised to see it because they're kind of running out of the high-profile shibatas, and they're really, really doing a lot of shibatas right now.
Yeah.
Logistically, for one thing, they don't have the Chunichi anymore, which is the last place it was staged.
Right.
And it was done in a full directorial collaboration with one of the Onoe Kabuki family.
Right.
And I believe that all of the Onoe who worked on that one have now retired or died or both. It's a little hard to look up exactly which one worked on it.
Because they all share the same names.
Yeah, but as far as I can tell, I think the guy who directed it retired about 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So, I'm sure there's someone in-house who could do it, or they could line up another Kabuki guy, but it is a little more difficult than just handing it to, Nakamura Satoru, which is what they do a lot of the time.
Yeah, yeah. Now, how about, we've been talking about Ai-chan, how about Akira?
Mm-hmm.
How about, so her final show is Augustus.
Yeah,
So Seto Kazuya was also she was Nibante-ish, right?
Yeah, she was Nibante as well. She's gonna be doing Takarazuka Live Next stuff, which makes me really happy. And also makes me hopeful that Ai-chan will also get in on this, which honestly might be a reason why they're retiring so many Nibante right now, because they can compromise on this. So let's see, I saw Augustus and Cool Beast, but it was like in a hotel room eating sushi with a friend, so we were talking over it a bit.
Yeah.
Cool Beast is really, really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
And as you can see, because I'm talking about the review first again.
Uh-oh.
I've heard reviews of Augustus. I know everybody didn't love it.
Tabuchi Daisuke has weird approaches to historical stuff.
Well, that sounds like Takarazuka.
Yeah, but like Tabuchi Daisuke, he doesn't even like try to adapt historical events. Like he takes the character motivations kinda and just makes up the historical events.
Oh, amazing.
It's really weird and kind of fascinating in having this be how Western history is seen from an Asian creator.
Yeah.
But also I do feel like often what he invents is not as interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The costumes were really good though, and Akira did have one of the better characters in the show. Like, she did a really good job with what she had.
Oh.
Yeah. I know we're getting up to the end. We have a time limit today.
Yeah.
Should we do like a final round before we...
Yeah, because there's one more incident that I would like to discuss, maybe.
Sure, go for it.
So what I'm thinking of is the Hoshikaze Madoka's bounce through Senka and into Hanagumi, and Junhana becoming top star of Cosmos Troop.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Top Musumeyaku. Which is kind of fascinating.
The Junhana thing, right? The Junhana thing was so weird because they set up... Yeah. It was really obvious they were trying to set up Junhana for all of these, lead roles and stuff. And setting up her chemistry with Saki. And, when they first started, they didn't gel that well, but, then Hollywood gossip happened, and they did really well. And it just, it makes sense. It started making sense.
Yeah.
And she started fitting in. And then they yeet her to Cosmos. Yeah. And it's weird.
I've heard that that definitely things could have gone otherwise but Hankyu gonna Hankyu.
Yeah. I'm really happy that Kiwa came back, because again, Kiwa has really good chemistry with Saki, even from the first Daimo's first Grand Theater. But I don't know. I don't know why, and I don't know why they set the precedent to actually keep Madoka. Why do that?
It's interesting.
Why do that if you're gonna...
So how many times have they done that with Top Musumeyaku now?
Twice, right?
It's
at least
Madoka
3 times I can think of.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the last one we can think of is Danrei.
Before then, you're getting quite early when they didn't really know what they were doing.
Mm.
Not that they've ever known what they were doing.
Just Hoshina Yuri. There was Hoshina Yuri too.
Oh, did she go through Senka? Oh, okay.
Oh, I don't know if she went through Senka, but they moved troops with her. So.
Oh, okay.
I mean, and then I guess
top star.
Hana Fusamari is one as well, but she's the exception of the exceptions.
Outlier.
Nothing really.
Yeah.
It's really weird. Does anyone do you guys even know rumors why that happened?
I don't know, but I kind of feel like below Hana Yuki, because we have so many Hanas we're talking about right now. Below Hana Yuki, I don't know, they didn't really have anyone they were promoting right at that moment, because Hanagumi's promotions got hit especially bad by COVID.
But didn't they have a Ritu? What's her name?
They have Otokurisu.
Yeah, her.
Who they're kind of kurachiing at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if they wanted to pull the trigger on making her top Musumeyaku at the moment. And below Otokurisu, there's Hoshizora Misaki.
Yeah. And because there's been no Irimachi Demachi, I haven't seen Madoka's fan presence. Was she... I mean, I feel like a lot of the Musumeyaku who they keep and make top star more than one troop, they tend to have a big following. So they... so they're we don't want to lose this cash cow quite yet.
Yeah, I get the impression she's fairly popular. And also, I think she probably suits well the kind of stuff they want to do with Rei.
Right.
Because Rei is doing a lot of Broadway stuff. And Madoka can certainly carry that. Because it's sometimes a little harder, especially for pretty young Musumeyaku to carry. They just came out, I don't know if you've seen it yet, they just came out with the visual for their top hat.
It's beautiful.
And it's so cute. It's so cute. I'm literally trying to figure out if I can line up somebody in Kansai for me to crash with so I can go watch this thing, because they're not doing it in Tokyo.
Right.
It looks so good. But yeah, like it's kind of a weird situation. But I'm always for top Musumeyaku getting respect and long careers.
Yeah, true.
But
That's
also,
true.
it makes me worry a little for the younger Musumeyaku and Hanagumi. But like, if you look at it, Hanagumi is like weirdly thin on Musumeyaku for some reason.
Which is unusual, because usually Hanagumi has so
Yeah.
many.
Yeah, they send them out.
So many girls did like retired with medium. Like, medium retires with this like entire like harem, and they've still dropped a few since then. So I'm like, I was waiting for them to like transfer more Musumeyaku in, but they've been moving Musumeyaku around to every other troop but Hanagumi except for Madoka.
And I mean, they gave Maisora Hitomi to Hoshigumi, and she was like really big. Well, not really big, but she was really promising. And they're like,
so
honestly, off you go.
She might have been one of the higher second wife candidates. Right. And that was, like, she had some of the last stuff before, Shinkos get shut down.
Right.
So then your young Musumeyaku promotions are kind of dead in the water.
That's something else we should talk about. Shinkos started back up again this year.
Shinkos are back! Yes. And they started live streaming Shinkos.
Oh.
Did they? I didn't realize
that. Yes, they are
live
awesome. Streaming the Shinkos, which is great for babies getting fans, and very bad for fans' bank accounts.
That's funny. Oh my gosh, I didn't realize that. That's great. Good.
Yeah, so that's really nice. Very like genuinely, Hankyu is moving into the 21st century. Yes. They're posting things on their Instagram that are not just announcements of what show is running.
Yeah. Never too late to learn.
Does anyone have maybe one more thing to bring up before we wrap up?
How about you, Kate? Anything?
No, I can't think of much. No, not really. No, not really. I'm trying to think about recent announcements, and I wonder when Elizabeth is coming up, because it's been a while.
Yeah, like if they don't do Elizabeth soon, it's gonna get caught in the avalanche of the 3 years of Rosa Versailles 50th anniversary that they better remember.
I'm really concerned about that, because I was so sure that Daimon and Kiho were going to do it. And I was wondering actually whether I'd be really mad if they gave it to Hanagumi, but it kind of it makes sense. Like it doesn't make sense, but like because they've both Rei and Thingy, they both had Shinko. And I don't know whether that's what they're trying to go for, or whether they're gonna give it to Hoshigumi, which I don't know, or whether we're not gonna have
honestly,
one.
like I would pay good money to see Yurika do Elizabeth. She won't, I'm sure, but I'm just thinking about the costume and the fact that I would be entirely normal and fine seeing that.
What color would her wig be?
I think she would probably go for like something like Ma had, but maybe a little lighter, more gray. That is what I am envisioning and being normal about.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh boy. I feel like for my final thought, I Tsukigumi changed guard again, and they've got a new top star, and I just feel like I felt disconnected for a while since I moved back, but realizing that I have never seen Tsukigumi's top star in anything, I'm like, holy crap. So I definitely need to get caught up on things and figure out what's going on in my troop, because it is a weird feeling.
She's pretty good.
Really Azure moment is Reiko's first Tsukigumi split, and she's with Mia and Umi. And I think that's probably a really good introduction to that general vibe.
Yeah. Yeah.
If anyone else is having this problem. All right. So I just remembered something that isn't really going to affect anything until next year, but is definitely worth mentioning. Soragumi no Kazuki Sora is now Yukigumi no Kazuki Sora.
Oh!
Which is going to be very, very interesting for both of those troops.
Again, that was a really weird one.
It is like Yukigumi, conservation sanctuary for small Soragumi Otokoyaku. Strikes again.
Stop sending people to Yukigumi. They have enough. Monkey's weird.
Yep.
So, shall we close this off?
Yes.
Then?
Yes. Okay. So, sorry. Year-end roundup episode. We hope you have also enjoyed a lot of Takanasuka this year. Wishing you an excellent Zuka Hanukkah, Zuka Christmas, and a very Zukalicious New Year. From me, your host, Kitty-chan.
And Jen in New York.
And Kate.
All right. Thank you so much for listening. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Many thanks to Michael B. and the Arcanum String Quartet for their wonderful arrangement of Sumire no Hana Sakugoro. And thank you, listeners, for enjoying our podcast.